And we're back for another episode. In this episode, we're going to be carrying on the main story of Endwalker. And as always, hello from Mithrie. So we are here in the Labyrinthos at 26, and we need to talk to Kryl. So the quest is called Glorified Ratcatcher. The Kryl appears lost in Fort. We would do well to learn more of what specifically the Gleaners are being tasked to do, as well as who has tasked them to do it. If you're game Mithrie, I have an idea. Didn't one of those Gleaners you questioned say something about escaped marmots? Perhaps if you were to help him capture said creatures, he might be inclined towards more friendly and enlightening conversation. In the meantime, I will turn my charms upon this Gleaner here. We can compare notes afterwards. Happy hunting. Okay. Well, I can actually use a mount in this area. Okay, let's see what he has to say. You shall help me find the marmors. I've nothing suitable to pay you for your services, but if you're offering out the goodness of your heart, I'd welcome the assistance. Money's tight. The name is Erenville, friend, specialist in the collection of live specimens. That said, the capture of these Naxian marmors is a trial. I've no desire to repeat. Grizzled mice, they call them. For a mercy, there are no other marmot species on this tier at present, so there should be no mistaking our little fugitives. If you happen to catch any, stuff them in this sack. Gently, of course. Where to begin, you wonder? I've not seen any scampering around here, so we'll need to widen our search in the surrounding forest. Be on your guard. There are beasts out there that won't hesitate to prey on a marmot or you. I'll search the trees to the west. The eastern part of the forest is all yours. Good luck. Okay. So, let's go. Not too far away. We're finally getting some action. Yeah, someone doing is gathering already. Not wasting any time. Okay. Rolls in this area. Search for grizzled mice. Oh. I think I went in the wrong area. Which area? Okay. Tell you what, let me take these out. Get some into my chocobo. I've no idea if this will help us find mice. Where are the mice? Oh, up there. That's a mouse. Well, you know. Oh, is there more? Okay, sorry. There's more. Of course, he just ran off. Barely have you ready to sack when the Grizzle Mouse scampers off into the underbrush. I remember a long time ago, we're talking like 7-8 years ago, there used to be a time when you wouldn't be able to mount if you had your summon, like your Chocobo summon. You would have to go out of your way to dismiss it, or only ride the Chocobo itself. You couldn't ride other mounts if the Chocobo was summoned. In the old days. Okay. Rat sack. Use it. He evades again. Okay, so now we need to search for more, I guess. I'm guessing we have to go up here. There's an Aether current over there. I'll come back to that another time. Right. Okay, I've got it. Okay, now we're going to deliver the rats. So once we get back to him, we will continue. Okay, so we've got the rats back. So how did you fare? I tracked down 3 of the pack, which leaves 1 unaccounted for. Ah, there's the odd moment out. Wait here for a moment while I put our friends in a holding cage. Thankfully, the marmots seem to be unharmed. They've held up well in isolation, but it's much too soon to release them into the habitat. It's a good thing that we were able to recapture them so swiftly. You have my thanks. Who tasked you to capture them in the first place? What will you do with the marmots now? That's for the forum to decide. They are the guiding authority behind Labyrinthos after all. And this job was but once more part of this great inventory of theirs. Suitable for consumption and easy to breed. Those were the 2 conditions I was given for the stock I was instructed to procure. I don't know what the forum has planned for these creatures, but at the very least, I doubt they'll be served for dinner today or tomorrow. There you are, Mithrie. Is this Siglina you mentioned? The one who was looking for the lost marmots? Interesting company keep, friend. Who are you folk, anyway? I am Kryl of the students of Baldassian. These others are my associates. Truth be told, the forum's decisions of late have not sat entirely well with us. That is why we made the descent into Labyrinthos. We hope that by seeing those decisions put into action, we might more fully understand their reasoning. Wise and practical. Never hurts to try and gain a broader perspective, does it? Anyway, duty calls. Other animals to capture and enclosures to empty. Once again, I'm sorry that I can't offer you more for your services. Did you learn anything new from your friend there? So we confirmed that the order for this ambitious operation did indeed come directly from the forum. However, the Gleaners have not been informed of its purpose. I'd say that fits with everything we've heard thus far. We also discovered when the operation was begun. The forum contacted the Gleaners guild ship and put their people to this great work some 4 days after the Telefroi made their chilling declaration. As seasoned travellers, the Gleaners keep abreast of news from every corner of the world out of necessity. Thus am I inclined to trust that their calendar of events is accurate. Altogether, it gives a distinct impression that this undertaking was a sudden and unexpected development. Yet, I find it hard to believe that such a comprehensive restructuring of Labyrinthos and its archives could have been planned in so brief a window. This plan was long in the making. They were but waiting for the right time to put it into effect. And the Telefroi's declaration was what set it all in motion? It seems likely, but let us not leap to conclusions just yet. For the moment, I suggest we conduct a wider investigation of Labyrinthos. The more facilities we visit, the more pieces of the puzzle we stand to find. In that case, how about we head to the Archeon? From there, we can reach the lower... What's wrong? I am fine, truly. The sudden descent has left me with a bit of a headache, that's all. Nothing that will stop me from soldiering on. Let's be about it then. At least allow me to take the lead. I'm fairly certain I remember the way to the Archeon. We followed the path east through the forest where you were chasing after that mouse, or marmot was it? Anyway, 'tis the trolls you need to watch out for. Alright. So, let's see how far we have to go. We have to go quite far to the next town. So, once we get there, we will continue. Okay, we caught up with Alpha Node, so let's see what he says. So, behold, the Archeon. A Nononan serves as Charlian's literacy archive. So does this structure house the city's wealth of material data. The architecture too is similar. This building you see is merely the upper entrance, an access point to the vaults carved into the cliffside itself. Within those vast rooms are stored countless samples and specimens, as well as the detailed records which describe them. In a matter of speaking, the Archeon contains a physical history of Charlian's unwavering dedication to the accumulation of knowledge. Cool. So the next quest is called Deeper into the Maze. So Alpha Node is gazing into the Archeon with an appraising look. Well, we won't learn anything of value standing out here. Let's proceed into the main building and speak with the custodian. And I guess I'll use this as an opportunity to attune. Okay. Well, there's the 8th right just there. And what I tend to do, what I've always done, is if I see any 8th occurrence, I ignore them until I make my 8th occurrence guides. If I see any world quests, I ignore them until I'm leveling up another class. The main, I just do the main story, and that's it. Okay. Right, let's talk to this custodian. Greetings, we are here to peruse the Archeon's vaults. Peruse? You are clearly not gleaners then. Might I ask your affiliation? We belong to the students of Baldassian, but is that relevant? I was given to believe that the vaults, those open to the public, are at least were open to the public. Ordinarily, yes, that would be the case. At present, however, access is restricted. Only persons directly involved in the reorganization efforts are permitted to enter. And not us then. I suppose we had better move along to another facility. This building has a lift which connects to the middle tier, yes? Might we at least make use of that? That service has long been suspended, I'm afraid. For the time being, priority has been given over to the conveyance of inventory. What? This is as far as we can go? Apologize for the inconvenience. Please come again after our restructuring operation is concluded. By that time, it'll be too late, and we were so close to getting the answers. We need to rethink our approach. Let's step aside for a moment, shall we? Units of Audacium. Huh. So we're not allowed in, are we? Oi, you. Watch this. Okay, fine. I'll grow up. Right. Let's talk to Yishtola. We are at an impasse. As we have no other leads, I would like to pursue this one further. I doubt that our stone-faced custodian will be swayed by heartfelt pleas. We must seek another means to access the lower levels. It's likely that the people in this area are involved in this restructuring in one way or another. If we were to ingratiate ourselves, they might allow us to accompany them on the lift. Let's ask around. Surely someone is in need of a few strong backs to lighten the load. Alright. So who do we need to talk to? Who we talk to, I wonder. Here we go. A bemused student. So, am I taking the lift? No, we're just students. They won't let us into the Archeon, even though we found. Actually, we have no idea what it is we found. There's no record of such a creature anywhere. But if it was wandering around Tranquility, and so we thought to donate it to the vaults. Oddest little squeak, don't you think? Anyway, I suppose we'll have to take care of it until the Archeon is open again. Interesting. Okay, let's see if we can find someone else. So it's shown that they could be hidden behind a box or around the corner somewhere. Okay, this way. Or completely out in the open. So what's that? Take you down the lift with me? Sorry, but not a chance. I've been up and down all day, and only now have I finally found a spare moment to rest. I did see a gleaner fellow heading out the gate there, though, shouldering a large pack, engaged in some manner of task. Maybe he'll be headed down below after he's done with whatever it is he's doing. Okay. Alright, let's see if we can find the gleaner in this area. Okay, there. Quiet. You'll frighten it away. Ah, it's you again. I don't mean to be rude, but I'm in the middle of another task. The cloudkin I need to capture is close. Very close. You wish to help me with this too? You spend your time in unusual ways, my friend. Still, 2 hunters are generally better than 1. Very well. The canal here is a common gathering spot for birds of all kinds, but the one I'm after today is the hornbill. His feathers are green, his quite distinctive caw. Single it out and shoot it with this sleeping dart. The effects are short-lived, so I'll lie in wait by the riverbank to claim our quarry. Be sure to hit the right one. Okay. So, search your surroundings for the hornbill. And then target. So I want the green one with the distinctive caw. Oops. Oh, sorry. I have to hold... Whack, whack, cuckoo. Or caw. Okay, that one. You hit the right bird with the dart. I was trying to hold left click to move the camera, but it was shooting the dart straight away.
A fair shot. Nicely done. Let me truss this one up, and I'll make my way over to you.
There you are. Any new revelations? So you met with that gleaner again, this time to capture a hornbill. I understand catching and bringing in creatures from the outside, but what's the point of chasing after ones already here?
Oh, it's a simple thing, really. Occasionally, we remove specimens no longer needed for study, or those we've had difficulty raising. But we can't simply turn them loose. Safely returning such creatures to their native habitats is another facet of a gleaner's duties. But not in this case, I'm afraid. I've been asked to bring the bird below.
The restricted section in the lower levels of Labyrinthos. Open only to a select few researchers handpicked by the Forum. The projects down there are the subject of rumor and hearsay. Forbidden magics. Advanced technologies that can never be allowed to fall into outside hands. Even Archons are not privy to the truth. Those who are, the researchers involved in this secretive work, are not permitted to walk freely in the city, and are instead required to live in isolated quarters.
What could a facility subject to such strict security protocols possibly need with a hornbill? An experiment?
Possibly. I wasn't afforded an explanation. But judging by the requisition list given to me and my colleagues, I doubt it's for any kind of advanced research. I'd be more inclined to believe we were making preparations to migrate to the south. Mericidia or thereabouts.
What? Why would you say that?
Much of the flora and fauna we were asked to procure could serve as reliable sources of sustenance. They're comparatively hardy species too, able to endure harsh climates. And among them are specimens known to be effective in improving soil quality and purifying water.
When you put it that way, migration does sound like a reasonable assumption.
That's all it is, though. An assumption. Through our tasks, we gleaners glimpse only bits and pieces of the Forum's plans. Our prime concern is that our requisitions, be they living or otherwise, are properly preserved for the knowledge of future generations. Now, I really must be going. I regret that I cannot reward you as you deserve.
Perhaps you might reward us after a fashion then. It is imperative that we reach the lower levels. And seeing as you are already set to descend with your assigned cargo, mayhap we could accompany you as your assistants.
I'm afraid that won't be possible. Once the animals have been prepared for transport, we send them down separately via the lift. I will of course follow after to make my report, but I can hardly pass you off as porters when there's nothing left to carry.
Indeed. Pray forget I said anything.
How do you feel about climbing? If you've strength and the courage to brave it, then there is another way down. This path leads to the 33rd facet, a mine shaft excavated during one of our expansions of Labyrinthos. While I cannot guarantee that the passage is safe to traverse, it should provide access to the Medial Circuit below.
If it's a dungeon.
I never even knew such a place existed. Thank you. This is the perfect solution.
You're quite welcome. But consider yourselves warned. If the going proves too treacherous, you do well to turn back. I bid you good day.
Well, turning back is hardly an option, not when we've come this far. Let's go and take a look at this mine shaft.
Hey. Obviously life will be a lot easier once we're not flying in the area. Okay, it's quite far, so once we get there, we will continue. Okay, we made it to Alpha Node, so let's talk to him. So this must be it, the entrance to the mine shaft. 'Tis faint, but I hear something moving within. Creatures horned there by the researchers, you think? Well, slavering beasts aside, we will need to watch our footing. We should tighten our straps and such before we continue. Cool. And then let's see what I got. Headpiece. Recommended. Yeah. So it's decent. So at the beginning, this will take you to 515. So, okay. So the next quest is called the Medial Circuit. Elise seems eager to get underway. So assuming everyone's tightened their straps and checked their gear, then I say we head on in. Given the terrain ahead, though, it might be wise to leave some distance between us. We don't want to be stumbling over each other if it comes to a fight. Take it slow and don't forget to check your surroundings from time to time. We can be up again at the other end of the tunnel. Okay, well, it seems everyone else is just mounting their way through it. Let's see how far it is. Okay, it's not too far. So, let's go through. Ominous cave. Yeah, I remember all these mobs from Final Fantasy XI. We have a fight. Summon my Chocobo again. We done? Okay, let's keep going. Like grow by sight or by sound? Okay, by sound. Yeah, thankfully they don't follow you for too long in this game. The Chocobo finished that one off. Okay, let's keep going. So far I'm about halfway to level 81. Okay, we made it. Let's talk to Master Alpha Node. So everyone seems to have made it through without incident. Nothing of consequence at least. And as promised, the tunnel has delivered us into the Medial Circuit. As I recall, this tier is where they keep a wide variety of samples for agricultural production. If Arvenville's assumption holds true, that specimens are being collected in preparation of a great migration, then we should see evidence of such plans in the area's research projects. Let's follow the path to the nearest farming facility and see what we see. Okay, so it's a bit far, so once we get there, we will continue. Okay, we made it here, so let's examine this destination. Nice little farm. Aha. Now I know where we are. This is Marielle's agronomics. Labyrinthos is host to a wide variety of vegetation, which allows us to conduct studies on cultivation methods utilized in foreign lands. And it is this facility which coordinates and oversees those efforts. The fruits of their research go to feed their Labyrinthos colleagues, or so I hear. More notable successes might make it to the Agora. Foods so exotic you'd be hard-pressed to guess their origin, let alone how they might taste. Indeed, mystery vegetables without a name, only a list of nutritional benefits scribed on a card. I see no cleaners hereabouts, yet these workers seem to share that same sense of urgency. It's possible they know something of the Forum's plans and their underlying motivations. Worth looking into, wouldn't you say? See what you can coax from the workers. The rest of us will do the same or cast about for useful clues. Okay. Wrong button. What crops are we raising? Well, as you can see, this one is a variety of grape. Only needs a good source of sunlight to grow, and the conditions here are nothing short of perfect. Hardly surprising given that it's native to a particular locale in the very place of which Labyrinthos was modelled, a region in the south of Isilbard. It boasts remarkable habitat diversity, allowing for myriad of flora and fauna to thrive. Chilly peaks in the north give way to swathes of temperate plains, which in turn transition into a hot, humid coastline. Such bountiful territory is ever contested, as you might expect. It used to be called Corvos before the Imperials renamed it to Locus Ammonius. So the Forum saw it not as a prize, however, but as a researcher's ideal environment, one whose climates we strove to recreate within the confines of Labyrinthos. It since provided a rich foundation for countless experiments in cultivation. Cool. So let's now go talk to this overwhelmed labourer. So, do I have aught to be taken down below? More than I can carry, and then some. Most of our stock is sent off via the cargo lift, but some have been earmarked for aerial transport. Hence the stack of crates atop the hill over there. Gods, hauling the lot up that slope was a job and a half. Okay. Right, the last one is over there. Oh, hello there. We weren't expecting visitors, not with use of the lift being restricted. How did you make it down here anyway? And a long way. A mineshaft, you say? Well, you're a much hardier soul than I. Under normal circumstances, I reward such tenacity with a guided tour of the fields. I'm afraid the Forum has us filling order lists a mile long. Massive yet detailed requests, literal wagon loads of crop samples, and hardly any time to put them together. When I first heard of this grand reorganization, I assumed that we would be shuffling around old stock to make room for the new. Then came the orders for the ridiculous quantities of seeds we've already thoroughly researched. Passing strange, eh? I pressed for an explanation and was met with vague assurances that all would be revealed in due course. Not the most satisfying answer. Alrighty. So now we need to investigate the stacked boxes. There's obviously a lot of people doing this quest as well at the same time as me. Oh wow. So we are starting to see a variety of different enemy types, at least. So the labels on these crates tell the story of their contents. Bundles of common seed samplings, accompanied by sheaves of reports.
Hard to look away, isn't it? But they're more than pretty flowers. Heart blooms are attuned to ambient emotion. You don't seem convinced, but believe me, it's true. This ashen grey, for instance, it mirrors the anxiety and urgency of those working nearby as they rush to fulfill sudden orders. Intense feelings like those spur the petals to change colour. Bright glowing hues in the presence of joy, dark subdued shades for frustration or despair. Yet even with the collected wisdom of Charlian at our disposal, we've yet to identify the underlying principle of this empathic effect. And there are other mysteries besides. Although the flower is extraordinarily long-lived, its low reproductive rate has made it difficult to find younger populations growing in the wild. With too few sightings to map its distribution, and no closely related species to track, we've been unable to pinpoint its land of origin. To further complicate matters, every culture, even dimly aware of its existence, has given it a different name and mythos. Our attempts to study it via the historical record have been an exercise in frustration. As an avid botanist myself, I should one day like to unravel the Heartbloom's secrets. But I'm afraid other duties must take precedence. I will leave you to your thoughts.
Have you learned aught of interest? A flower that reacts to one's feelings? Strange. I must say, I have never heard of such a thing.
This is all very fascinating. But as it stands, we fail to gain any significant insight into the Forum's undertaking.
Indeed. While there is certainly enough activity to support Erenville's supposition that a priority has been placed on improving food production, unfortunately for our investigation, These workers were never informed as to how their duties serve the master plan.
If only we could interrogate the Forum members directly. Isn't that the entrance to the Archaean? Look, there. I think that's Erenville.
A little difficult to tell from here, but I think you're right. He did say he was coming down to make his report.
Erenville receives his orders from the Forum. Would it not follow, then, that the superior to whom he reports is a Forum member? Or at least a close associate?
You mean to eavesdrop on their conversation? What of the risks?
Ours alone to bear. We won't interfere with Erenville's work, nor will he be implicated as an accomplice. If you're not comfortable taking part, I can do this alone.
Nay. I said myself that I wished to know Father's intentions. And no answers will be forthcoming should we simply ask nicely.
We can apologize later, should it come to it. Right now, we need every crumb of information we can get our hands on. Consequences be damned.
It might be best if you came along as well. In fact, we should all... Cryo?
Oh, yes. That certainly sounds like a plan.
I'm glad you agree.
I was totally listening.
Quickly! Erenville is on the move. We need to get closer before we lose him.
Almost. I can almost reach you.
Alright, let's talk to Y'shtola. Yish. Is Cryo still feeling unwell? I've never seen her so distracted. Keep an eye on her, but keep moving too. We cannot let our quarry slip away. Cool. So that's the Medial Circuit done. So, I think that's a good time to stop for this episode, because I don't know how long the next quest is going to be. So, thank you as always for watching, and as always, goodbye from me, and goodbye from Mithrie. Bye guys.